July was a very busy month for me. I read 7 books, started a new job, and got a black eye, but I'm getting off topic. Art fight. I did a total of 28 attacks, well over my original goal of 15. In fact, I think I met my goal before the second week. During the final stretch of the month, I thought I could maybe push it to 30, but alas, I was running on fumes. Didn't have much more to give. Especially after the initial energy started to fizzle out. On the bright side though, that's basically 1 attack per day, if you even them out throughout the month. I do have the speed paints for most of the attacks, so if you'd be interested in seeing those, let me know. And on that note, let me know if you'd like to see those with some commentary or just music. I'm almost certain I know the answer, but I would love some feedback. Back to art fight though, I did not maintain my battle ratio. Which, thank you to everyone who did attack me because you are all awesome. But also, my battle ratio is kinda destroyed. At least for this year. So thanks a lot, guys. I'm kidding. You guys are actually the best. I was not expecting my last couple of videos to do as well as they did, so I was kind of expecting to be able to keep up with my revenges, but I couldn't. I got bum rushed. Nonetheless, a 35% ratio isn't that bad, all things considered. And my goodness, all of the attacks I received were amazing. I love them all so much. Everything I received this year is saved in a folder, so it shall live with me until my computer decides it's going to self-destruct. The amount of different styles and techniques and mediums, I've already noticed myself stealing some aspects from others, so thank you guys in advance. And on the topic of attacks I received, other years I don't think I've noticed a favorite character among attacks, but there was definitely a winner this year. With 16 attacks on her, Venus was this year's favorite. And I'm kinda glad because I definitely do not give her enough love. The second favorite was LeFou, which was who I thought was going to have the most damage dealt because of the theme, but as usual I stand corrected. Speaking of which, my question for you is what were your thoughts on having 3 teams this year instead of the 2? I personally didn't mind it. Overall, it felt like I had more of an opportunity to attack the other team. Usually if I find a character on the same team that I really like, I'll save it for the next year and hope that they're on the opposing team. But there wasn't as much of that this year, thankfully. And I know I could do friendly fire, but I prefer to do those for revenges. I know we might not ever get 3 teams again, but it was fun while it lasted. Getting into the specifics of my attacks, I did 2 3D models. I was really hoping to get 1 more done, but time was running out and I couldn't spare the extra time to do a model. The first one I did was a simple character, so I ended up making a spaceship to go along with it to fit their lore. And it was a really good warm-up. I learned a lot, especially in texturing, which helped on the second one. The second one took a lot of time, and I actually scrapped it and remade it, I think 2 or 3 times, but I'm really glad that I did because I do really like the final product. And tying into that model, I drew a lot of non-human characters. Some of the attacks stressed me out a lot when I was first starting, like Chatterbox, but there's definitely been improvements. I've found that the faces and heads have gotten a lot easier to draw. I just need to keep chipping away at the bodies. Because even with reference, it took a surprising amount of time to draw a feline body in a simple pose. For a lot of the attacks, I was so focused on getting the characters right that the thought of making a background was non-existent. Rest assured though, a few backgrounds were made. I'm not all sure if I can say that there was an overall improvement, because I don't have much to compare to, but anything is better than a colored void, I guess. I did, however, fall back on the void for the majority of my attacks. Especially at the end when I didn't really feel like doing a background. I also didn't stream at all, maybe one day, but this month was really busy, so I didn't exactly have time to do that on top of all the attacks I was doing. Sometimes even just recording the attacks was a bit draining, even though it takes 2 clicks. I almost convinced my friend to participate, but because of work schedules, it didn't actually end up happening. Again, maybe next year. On the bright side though, they did help me brainstorm some things to draw for my own characters as well as some ways to expand them. So now that art fight is over for the year, I have the time to focus on them again. And speaking of things for me to draw, after some discussion between friends and I, as well as some reflection from comments, there are a few things that need to be updated in the coming year, which may or may not include some of the dreaded character sheets. Yeah, we noticed a decent amount of inconsistencies between my own reference images, and it is definitely a good idea to get on that before it's forgotten about again. Woohoo! Can't wait to draw my characters instead of keeping them inside of my head. Guys, I promise I'm not lying when I say that. It's gonna happen this year. I promise. And that's it for this video. Wow, is this an end card? Didn't know we had the budget for that. I should have said this earlier this month, but holy cow, there's over 500 people who decided to follow. That is super cool, and I'm glad you enjoyed my other videos enough to come back and stay for more. Anyways, I'm gonna go back to building homes in The Sims. See you in the next one.